Now that you understand what biodiversity means, let's talk about sustainability and niches or roles. Sustainability in ecosystems is the ability of the organisms to survive and thrive in its environment. An ecosystem is sustainable if it can survive disasters such as habitat destruction or disease. The best way to learn about how biodiversity affects the sustainability of an ecosystem is to look at some food webs. Here you have ecosystem A. It has 9 different species. Now compare it to the biodiversity of ecosystem B. There are 6 different types of species, so ecosystem B has a lower biodiversity than ecosystem A. However, increased biodiversity alone isn't enough to help an ecosystem sustain a catastrophic event. If the population of a species decreases, it has less of an impact on an ecosystem if there are other species that can fulfill its niche. A niche is a role or function of an organism in a community of plants and animals. For example of this principle, look at this ecosystem A again. The secondary consumers have multiple varieties of food to choose from. The fox can feed on rabbit, mice, frogs, grasshoppers, snakes, and birds. Let's say the habitat of the frogs was destroyed by a construction, greatly reducing the population of frogs. There are 5 other animals that fill the same niche or role as the frog, which is to be food and energy for the foxes. A decrease in the population of frogs won't have much effect on the population of foxes because the fox has other options for feeding. Let's apply this same scenario to ecosystem B. In this ecosystem, the fox can only feed on snakes, frogs, and grasshoppers. There are fewer animals to fill the same niche or role as the frogs. A population decline in frogs due to habitat destruction will lead to a population decline in foxes in this environment. Greater biodiversity combined with organisms sharing niches or roles results in higher populations of species during catastrophes and greater sustainability. It's time to check your understanding. If a disease kills 50% of the snake population, what would happen to the population of hawks in ecosystem A? Right, it might decline a little, but there are other animals filling the same niche or role as the snake. Greater biodiversity plus multiple organisms filling the same niche equals greater sustainability. What would happen to the population of hawks in ecosystem B if half the snakes died? Correct. The hawk population would decline greatly since there is only one other organism filling the same niche as the snake. The more diverse an energy level, such as primary consumers, the more sustainable the ecosystem is.